Hi friends, welcome to another RedditRev episode. Please subscribe and hit that like button if you're enjoying the content, and please share it with your friends if you can. I'd really appreciate it. Also, please leave me a comment to let me know what you think of the episode. Now let's get started with today's stories.
So many people today relate to their friends and acquaintances and give away their personal power, placing themselves under the control of others and relying upon them to know how to act, how to make decisions, and what to do in their lives. Let's see how this happens in this RedditRev story. AITA for refusing to not go to my best friend's birthday party because my ex will be there. I just wanted to say that English is not my first language. I, 20F, refused to go to my best friend's 18F birthday party because my ex, 22M, is going to be there. Usually I'm the type of person who does not hold grudges. I don't hold a grudge toward my ex for what happened. But when an ex and I break up, I don't want to see that person ever again. I have always felt this way, usually because I want to protect my mental health. Now, in most cases, protecting your mental health would mean resolving any and all issues with an ex and making the breakup one of unanimous consent. This works very well to protect your mental health because you don't live your life clouded with unresolved emotions. When you push these emotions back in your mind, they stay there, and they cause depression and periods of anger that surface later on, making your life miserable for reasons you don't even remember. Continuing on. So, a little backstory. My best friend and I have been best friends for 3 years. She is a year younger than me, but it's never been a problem. One day we were hanging out together and she tells me she's been texting this guy, I'll call him Cole, and Cole wants my best friend, I'll call her Amanda, to go to this party. Amanda then tells me that I have to go with her, and obviously I accept. As Amanda and I were getting ready for the party, she tells me that she's been seeing someone and Cole was just a friend to her. Fast forward, we go to the party and we meet Cole and a couple of his friends. Naturally, because this guy was a friend to my best friend, I make sure to talk to him, and we got along super well. As we drank more and more, everyone got more drunk, and Cole and I decided to go outside where we spoke for about 2 hours. Now I've been to more than my share of parties, and after drinking that much, the conversation must have been incredibly deep and terribly meaningful. Continuing on, I liked talking to him, but I still kept my distance as I wanted to make sure it'd be okay with Amanda if I went home with him. She said it's totally fine, and reassured me multiple times that she didn't care if I went with Cole. So I went home with him. I didn't sleep much that night for reasons that were obvious, and we ended up spending the day together. Cole was absolutely lovely, and the biggest gentleman I had ever met. At this point, my best friend and I still talked every day, as we used to. I started spending a lot of days and nights with Cole. He was literally every girl's dream. He treated me like a princess, so obviously I felt for him, and I fell hard. Knowing him for that short a period of time, it must have not been a very long fall. Continuing on, suddenly my best friend started acting weird, and I asked her what was up, assuming it was just the same old boy problems. It was indeed boy problems, but what she told me made me furious. She said that she had never really been okay with me seeing Cole, and that it made her uncomfortable, as he was her friend first. She then proceeded to tell me that if she had known Cole was that nice, she would have wanted a chance with him, which I took away. I then told her that if she had never been okay with it, well, then she shouldn't have ever let me go home with him, which led to me falling for him. Hold on there, that's a lot of commitment from a one-night stand. Time reveals the truth in all things. Slow down, girl. And we continue. I spoke to some of our other mutual friends, who all backed me up, telling me that I should still see Cole, as things were getting serious between us, and that she would come along. At this point, there's a lot of concern about how Amanda is going to come along or not. Who cares? When somebody betrays their own word, they're not worth spending any type of time with. The more life minutes you spend with her, the more life minutes you're throwing away. Cut your losses and move on. In talking with my friends, they all agreed that it was weird of her to switch up so fast. But I haven't heard anything from her about it. There's no explanation. So fast forward, Cole and I get into a relationship, and like my friend said, she came along and she accepted it. This was probably the best and most healthy relationship I have ever had. Cole was the guy I have dreamed of meeting ever since I was a little girl. Cole and I are together for about 2 months before I found out he had cheated on me with another girl. Well, it seems nowadays that everybody rushes into relationships. People get married and get divorced within 2 months. Well, still 2 months is nothing, especially in the 2000s. You don't know someone until you see them in sickness, health, anger, sadness, joy, and frustration. Knowing if you have a good relationship takes a year or more, not a few months. Having good sex falls under friends with benefits. It's not a relationship. So far, your situation is a case of trying to make a relationship out of hopes and dreams. Reality has left the building. A little while later, I find out from some other friends that he had been texting Amanda romantically while him and I were together, and obviously I was furious and completely heartbroken. You are operating at a faster speed than Cole is operating. Unless you can slow down and not rush into what you desperately want, and instead deal with what you have, this kind of thing is going to repeat throughout your life in the future. The betrayal will happen over and over again. The best long-lasting relationships I know took 2 or more years to get started. She continues on. I confronted her, and she told me she didn't have any contact with him anymore, and that she knew it was wrong. As naive as I was, I forgave her, and I went on with my life. Okay, let's stop here and look at this for a second. The time you spend with anybody is spending life minutes that you never ever get back. If you have the privilege of making it to old age, you'll regret the life minutes that you let dribble through your fingers like fine sand. You can never ever get them back. These lying, betraying people aren't worth your irreplaceable life minutes, not even seconds of them. Following them around and seeing what they do next is mismanaging your life. Walk away without explanation. Leave that wasteland and start living your life. And now she continues. 3 months later, I noticed Amanda didn't reply for about 20 hours and had turned off her location, which seemed very unlike her, as we usually would text or call each other all the time. But she has done it a couple of times before, so I just brushed it off, thinking that she was busy or with someone that she didn't want other people to know. This started happening more frequently, and when I asked her what she was doing, she'd tell me she was babysitting. At the start, I didn't think it was odd. I'm not sure why. Because why would she turn off her location to babysit? I got more and more suspicious, and that's when Amanda told me that she had been, in fact, babysitting Cole's, now my ex, little brother. And again, as naive as I was, I believed her. Obviously, I thought it was odd, as she had told me that she didn't have any contact with him anymore. I really don't like conflicts, and I hate drama. So I didn't want to confront her that a part of me didn't believe her story, until otherwise was proven. The world is so much bigger than hanging around with these low-quality people that delight in making you miserable. Change your circle of friends. Move somewhere. Here's a quote for you. Open quote. When I find new friends, I always let time expose who they really are. Frequently, I'm disappointed by their betrayals and their greed at the expense of others. So I move on. My quest is to find good, honorable, kind people in a world of I don't care morons. That was from Maggie Smith. She's an actor. All the information you did discover doesn't make you feel any better. You're digging around in a trash dumpster looking for something fresh and new, but you'll only find stinking, rotting garbage. It's way past time for you to just move on and leave the ugly people behind to do their nasty crap without you. Next, she wrote, not long after I was at a party with most of my friends, Amanda was babysitting again, so she couldn't come. That's when one of my friends and I went outside to talk. We were very drunk, but I remembered what she told me. She said, Amanda isn't babysitting. She's sleeping with Cole right this second, as we were standing outside speaking. My heart sank. I can't even explain this feeling to anyone who hasn't experienced it. This may sound harsh, but your heart sank because you're sailing your ship in a cesspool. Get out, take a long shower, and sail your new ship in clean, fresh water. She continues, I called Amanda 10 times before she picked up and told her off, and said that if she had told me the truth from the start, I may have not been so upset, and I would have come around at some point. But this was disgusting. I said a couple of more things, but I don't want to get into details. Obviously, I was very drunk, which didn't make things much better. And I said a lot of stuff I didn't mean. But I was just so mad that my best friend, who had been there for me while I sat in her arms, bawling my eyes out because of him, was now sleeping with him behind my back. So here we're at an interesting point. Why do you continue to torture yourself? You don't need this abuse, but you keep going back for more. You're not going to make any difference at all in those people's lives, and they will continue to hurt you. Make yourself into a bitter, suspicious person and warp your conceptions of the world. Like a dog with a stick, just drop it and leave that park. And she adds, fast forward to present time. I found someone new who I'm very happy with. He treats me well. Amanda and I made up. However, Cole and her are now dating. I've told her I don't mind, anymore and I've moved on. But the truth be told, it still bothers me a lot. Well, when somebody betrays you, I advise that you don't ever make up. You're just asking for repeat performance, and you don't know when that's going to happen. It may or it may not, and you can't tell if it's going to happen before it does. Why throw away your self-respect and make up with someone who betrayed you? Low self-esteem is a terrible thing. She adds, Amanda soon turns 19 and really wants me to go to her birthday party. But I've told her as long as Cole is going, I refuse to go. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to look at him. I don't want to smell his cologne. And most of all, I don't want to see my best friend and him together, all lovey-dovey. Why you would go to the birthday party is a mystery to me. Amanda stopped being your best friend long ago. Why you keep pushing a string uphill? Why you put up with crap from others? Perhaps the problem is within you, not the low-life people around you. Nobody with any self-respect hangs out with those who abuse and humiliate them. What do you get out of it? What do you want as a result? You write that you don't want to lose Amanda as a friend. Wake up. She's never been a friend. Not from day one. She goes on. Obviously, Amanda is very upset about this. Our mutual friends have either supported me or tried to convince me to go. Some of my friends who have supported my decision have also spoken to Amanda and told her that it's not okay that she actively chose Cole over me. Some also told her that if he is still invited by the time the party starts, they will not be attending either. This made Amanda very upset, as she apparently cannot see the issue in him coming, and does not think it's that big a deal. Amanda even told me that I could bring the guy I'm seeing now, and as much as that was nice of her, I still have no interest in him meeting the guy that broke my heart. The guy I'm seeing now supports my decision and also says that he does not want to go either. As I've told him everything, and he knows how much this whole situation has broken my heart. We have come to the end of my time. There's a song by The Offspring called Self-Esteem that you should listen to. Amanda has done everything to you but shoot your dog, and yet you still want to keep a hold of her as a friend, not lose her, and you fear that she might be starting to drag away from you. Throw some cold water in your face and wake up. Reality is right around the corner. Friends don't treat friends like that. Only AHs do. Unless you want to continue being abused, walk away. Take some classes on building self-esteem and why a balanced self-esteem is vital in the development of a relationship and keeping it healthy.
I hope you enjoyed our video. It's always a pleasure creating these stories, and if you liked what you saw, please take the time to show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you haven't already done so. Sharing with your friends is also greatly appreciated. Let me know in the comments section below what you think of our videos. I'm all ears. Be sure to check back soon for more original Reddit stories every day on RedditRev. Until then, stay awesome, my friend.